actually, I will grow facial hair this year, and I will do Movember. It might look like I've only got a bit of stubble, but it's the best I can do, and I'm proud. And that's my defence mechanism, standing up well there. Yeah, so my attempts to grow facial hair over lockdown obviously wasn't a great idea. It didn't look very good, but I mean, I'm not bothered about shaving. I mean, it's you guys who are making a big deal about it. Just you guys. I couldn't care less. Hello and welcome back to the Tottenham Hotspur FM21 beta save. Hope you're all doing well today and you are just like me regretting putting the introduction on the internet. That is a bad idea, Tom. Why did I do that? Either way, welcome back. Hope you're all well and hope you're looking forward to another episode today where, fingers crossed, we're going to be getting through into the second round of the Europa League after we smash Gent and hopefully beat Sheffield United in the Premier League as well. Since you guys were last here, we have actually won some games, which is pretty nice, I must say. If we have a look at the schedule since you guys were last here and we scroll down to when you guys were last here for that 1-1 draw with Leicester and the 0-0 with Burnley, which wasn't ideal, we've actually won both Premier League games that we've played. A 1-0 win against Crystal Palace and a 4-1 win against Newcastle, which is fantastic. Unfortunately, we did lose in the FA Cup 5th round to Liverpool, but it's this Liverpool side that are pretty unstoppable. Of course, we beat them an episode or so ago, and we lost them an episode or so ago as well. And obviously, January wasn't ideal, but I've been thinking about it. I've been looking back on it. Like, we lost one game to Southampton, which obviously wasn't great. We drew a lot of games, but for the most part, we're not losing. And it's all right. It's not as bad as it could have been, maybe. But either way, obviously, we only played 3 games in between episodes. Not an awful lot has happened, particularly as we are only in February, so not really much going on in terms of contract talks. You guys in the comment section, though, have been hounding me for my suggestion to maybe sell Harry Kane. You guys, you don't want me to, so we won't. We won't sell Harry Kane unless a huge bid comes in for him, but I won't offer him out or anything like that. Unfortunately, he's actually injured right now, so won't play in today's episode. He is currently suffering from a virus, as you can see down there. Same one that Longley had probably, same one that Son Heung-min had probably. He's out for another week or so, so I doubt will feature in today's episode. Unfortunately, Reguilon also out injured right now with an ankle injury. He's out for another 6 weeks or so, so don't expect to see him anytime soon. But Ben Davies slotting in has done very, very well. For whatever reason, though, when I saved after the Newcastle game, I didn't go all the way up to the Gent game. So I've actually got to go and press continue a few times before we get to the Gent game. But of course, this is the perfect time to remind you to drop a like on the video for me. That would be massively appreciated. We're going to set a likes target of 300 likes on today's video. That would be absolutely huge. And of course, make sure you do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Because, of course, we're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which would be great. Also, whilst you're here as well, I guess because we're still continuing, I've got a few more things to say. Link down below to 2Game. If you want to buy your copy of the game, I've got an affiliate link with 2Game. I get a kickback from every sale that I make on there, and obviously you get the game for cheaper than Steam and access to the beta as well. And that was perfect timing as well, because we are now right at the game against Gent for the first leg. We are playing away from home first and foremost, so that's quite advantageous. Get the away goals, then we have a job to do at home, but we know what we have to do because of the away goal situation, so it all works out quite nicely. Obviously, as already mentioned, injuries to Kane and Reguilon mean they can't play in today's game, so we're missing those 2 key players, but this is the lineup that I think should be winning this game today. Hugo Lloris stays in goal with that back line of Ben Davies, Longley, Garcia and Serge Aurier. Bentancur and Wink start in the centre of midfield with Lo Celso through the middle, Draxler coming on to the left-hand side, Lucas Moura playing on the right, and Son Heung-min taking up that vacant striker role. A lot of you as well have been saying that we need to move Kane to not an advanced forward, basically, make him a deep-lying forward or a complete forward, something like that. So once he's back from his injury, which actually might be in today's episode now because he's only got 2 days left, so he should be back for the next game. We can experiment a little bit with his different roles, as you guys were suggesting in the comments last time. But it's time to pump those fists, say that we are the favourites here, go out there, put on a performance, and win this game. So kickoff is upon us, and I think the bug is still in the game where the camera height and the camera zoom don't quite work and they just keep resetting all the time. So that's still a bug in the game. I know we keep adjusting the camera height and the camera zoom and things like that. Once that's fixed, we don't have to mess around with it too much, but things do keep changing in between episodes in terms of the 3D engines, camera height and whatnot, because it's a bit broken right now. But first highlight of the game, looks like it's coming towards us as Lucas Moura gets it across to Julian Draxler, who's been very good actually. It took him a few games to get settled, but he scored a goal against Newcastle, got an assist against Newcastle as well, and he's looked pretty comfortable in his position. So hopefully, whilst Kane's out and we'll have to rotate players around a little bit, he makes that position his own and is going to be really strong for us next season. Nothing came of that first highlight, but there is another one right now, but it looks like it's Gent coming forward, the Belgian side, looking to get it out wide, put the play down the wings, although they've not really made the most of it as they bring it back into the centre, but still hold on to possession, interestingly. Owusu into comes back to Owusu into their midfield. They've got some very difficult names to pronounce, and luckily we have one possession back, so I have to try and pronounce those names as Lucas Moura, with some pace, marches into the Gent area, gets it across the, not across the 6-yard area. I don't know what he was trying to do there, but it wasn't very good. So 0-0 as we approach half-time. I swear I just saw a player teleporting around a little bit. That might be a bug, but I'll have to report at some point if I can get the footage. Well, I will get the footage because I'm recording it right now, so that makes sense. But very quickly, half-time comes around, and we've got an XG of 1.2, so we should have scored some goals in that half according to the XG. Hopefully in the second half we'll actually take our chances a little bit better and actually put them in the back of the net. But because we are 0-0 right now at half time, I'm going to say I'm far from pleased from what I've just seen, and everyone apart from Longley looks motivated, which is good. So hopefully we're going to march on in the second half and just put loads past Gent. First highlight really of the second half now was we look to come forward. We're not really creating many highlight chances as Bentke's shot is saved by the keeper and goes out for a corner. Looks to be swung in by Lo Celso, who puts it in the middle, but there's not really much going on here as Lo Celso, still on the ball, plays it to Longley, and that's kind of the end of the highlight. I know we said maybe Kane has to play as something other than an advanced forward, but maybe Son has to as well. Lucas Moura fits that role really well. Lucas Moura always scores goals from the advanced forward role. He's got 12 so far this season, but Son not having the best of times, so maybe we swap him and Moura over. Let's put Draxler on the right-hand side, Bergwijn down the left-hand side instead, and see if this works a little bit. Harry Winks also not having the best of games, so we'll take him off for Sissoko. But I must say, Gent are really holding out well in this game. Obviously, we've had lots of chances, and our XG is really high, but we've not had many highlights, which do suggest that actually Gent have done really well defensively. Obviously, getting rid of those goal-scoring opportunities. As soon as we swap Moura around, he loves being that advanced forward. He gets another goal from that position and that role, and crucially gives us an away goal and the lead in this tie against Gent. You love to see it. It's a very good header, actually, and Lucas Moura, right place, right time. The keeper should have done an awful lot better there, to be fair, but we're not going to complain. We're 1-0 up. Will this mean the floodgates are about to open, or are Gent about to equalise and ruin our first game of this episode? It looks like it might be the former, as they have scored against us and ruined so far today's episode. This was far too easy for them to get forward. Far too easy. Who's this who's not really looking and paying attention? It's Garcia. Garcia, stop messing around. So despite the absolute domination, as you can see there, 22 shots to 4 shots, we just haven't made the best use of our chances. And there's maybe one final chance right now from this corner. If we can just take a 1-goal advantage back to our place, that would be superb, and we don't do it because it's a very good save from the keeper. Didn't think that was going to go in, so I didn't say anything. I do this quite a bit. If you're new to a channel, you'll learn that sometimes I get a feeling about a highlight and just think we're not going to score from this highlight, so I'm not going to commentate. And then we do score, as you can see. There's no quick way to just go back as well to see things now, either. There's no like timeline on the top of the screen, so I can't pretend anymore. Like, I've just got to embrace it nowadays. But 2-1, superb stuff. I'm glad we've actually got the win there, but we should have won that by an awful lot more, particularly looking at our XG of a 3.65. I nearly said 6.35. I wish it was. No, I don't wish it was, because that would be really embarrassing when we only scored 2 goals. Either way, it's not ideal, is it? Another goal for Julian Draxler there as well. Obviously, he's starting to settle into the club now and looks like a really good signing, actually. A couple of days off, though, and then we've got Sheffield United. A win against Sheffield United will put us into 3 wins on the bounce in the Premier League, which is what we need to do. We need to just keep winning games now. We're not going to catch Liverpool up. I've decided they are far too far ahead of us now. They're just unstoppable, but there's a good chance for us to get second place in the table to then build to try and win the league next season. So we will probably keep a very similar lineup. Harry Kane is back and he's fit, so let's put him on the bench and then let's move on the pitch for Son Heung-min instead. And then, as you guys were suggesting, I mean, which one would you go for? A deep lying forward? Lots of comments said deep lying forward, so let's go for that. Bentancur is also looking a little bit tired, so we'll bring Sissoko on for him for this particular fixture, and then we'll probably take Tanganga off the bench because I want to get Bergwijn back on there. And actually, I feel like Eric Garcia sort of led to a mistake which scored a goal. And actually, I feel like Eric Garcia had a mistake which led to a goal in the last game as well. So we'll rest him for this game, bring Alderweireld on, get him some match sharpness, and maybe he can start playing a few more games as well. So kickoff is upon us for the second time in today's episode. Sheffield United not having the best of seasons, down in 14th right now. We're still potentially looking at getting relegated. They're only 6 points clear if they get a draw. If they don't get this draw, they'll be 5 points clear of that relegation zone. But they're scoring and they're winning. So they are 8 points clear that relegation zone now. I knew as soon as I'd put a video out about, the best tactic in the game, just, a bit of clickbait basically to talk about tactics and things like that. I knew as soon as I'd do that, we'd start losing games. And it's what's happened, basically. There could be another one here for Sheffield United as Baldock comes forward. Ben Davies is a good challenge, though, wins possession. And can we build out from the back on a bit of a counter-attack? Lo Celso moves down that left-hand side of the pitch. We've only got Harry Kane waiting in the middle. Harry Kane, can he get on the end of this? He can. It's a great save. It wasn't even a save, actually. Went over the bar. So, well, it wasn't that good of a header. Once again, though, Sheffield United coming down the right-hand side through Baldock. And once again, Ben Davies gets the challenge in there. His clearance, though, isn't particularly good as it just goes straight to Sheffield United, who look to come straight back at us. Longley's clearance, again, only going as far as Baldock. And Sissoko this time finally getting a solid challenge in there where we win possession as Lo Celso. Down the left-hand side, again, is not brought down, but the clearance isn't very good as Draxler now into Mora. Mora putting that one over the bar. I feel like we're wasting a few good opportunities. So annoyingly, we're 1-0 down at half-time. I thought we were getting better. We're not getting better. I'm going to thrash my arms around, so I'm far from pleased again. And hopefully, this will kickstart a second half revolution. Alternatively, we could just put up an absolute spineless performance in the second half, not a single highlight, and lose 1-0. The XG again, though. I mean, we are creating good opportunities for ourselves. We're just not putting them in the back of the net, clearly. So, obviously, the Sheffield United keeper, Ramsdale, was on absolute top form today. Although he probably wasn't, because we had no highlights. And highlights usually mean a good opportunity. So, maybe they weren't very good. But then why was our XG so high? Oh, it's so confusing. I don't know. But suddenly, I thought I had this game figured out. Maybe I don't. As long as we don't lose to Gent, I'm happy. As long as we can keep going in the Europa League, win that at the end of the season, I'd be very happy with that. Oh, a Chinese club are offering an awful lot of money for Bergwijn. £29 million rising to £39 million. We can't negotiate this. And usually when these sort of non-negotiable offers come through in Football Manager, it generally means that this is the one-time thing. If you reject it, you're not going to get it back. At least from experience, I'm sure your guys' experience, you've had those sort of things. So we've got to listen to this seriously because he's valued at £31 million. We're getting nearly £40 million for him. And we could use this money next season. Thing is, have we used him much? He is the fifth best left winger that we've got. Well, let's not include Harry Kane, though, because he's not a left winger in my book. So the fourth best behind Ali, Draxler and Son. So he's not getting that much game time. He's played 9 games this season. Not particularly well, too. Can play on the right wing. How good is he in terms of a right winger? The 6th choice behind Lamela, Sissoko, Mora, Draxler, Son. I'll be honest, it makes a very tempting offer. And we can use this money to reinvest next season in someone better than him. So, yes, he's good. Yes, he's useful to have around the squad. But quite frankly, he's not the best player we've got. We've got better ones who have played better than him all season when he has played too. I think this is a deal that we can't really turn down. So I will accept it. I'll press the accept on that. But what I'll do at the same time is transfer offer to clubs, put him on the transfer list, go unspecified, offer to clubs and see if anyone wants to buy him. Although very quickly he just come back and said he's rejected the contract. Oh, that's frustrating. And now I bet he's going to be really cross with me for offering him out to clubs. It's not worked out well, that has it? Surely he knows he's not going to play that much football here. Surely. And surely a Chinese club can offer him loads more money than we can. He's on 75k a week here. They offer like 75k a second, don't they? What we'll do, though, for this game against Gent, though, we'll take Sissoko off for Bentancur. We'll bring Ndombele on for Winks as well. Alderweireld didn't really do well that last game, so maybe we bring Eric Garcia back on, but he still needs to get match sharp again. I think we trust him at the back to see what he does. I didn't really see much from Kane last game either, so maybe we switch him up to a complete forward this game and see if that's maybe the role to go for instead. So let's submit the team and go for it. So kickoff is upon us for the final game in today's episode, and judging by the way things have gone, I'll be honest, I'm not that confident. We are playing at home, which obviously helps. It's the first home game of today's episode, so we should have the crowd advantage. We should have... I mean, I'm clutching at straws here to try and think of ways that we might win this game. Really, we should do. We should win it hands down, but we just aren't playing that convincingly right now. But Draxler does get his third goal of the season. You love to see it. A great start to the game for us, and that's what we need to be doing more of, getting good starts to the game. Also, you can't see this, but I don't know if it's a connection. It's not happened like ever, but my screen keeps going off, and I don't know if it's a Football Manager thing, like a bug, or just the cable is starting to go, the HDMI that I've got going from the computer to here. But it keeps going off every now and again. It's really off-putting. Like, it's just gone off now, but it's not... I can still see it on the recording screen that I've got over here, but I can't... Now it's back. Gent on the ball, though, looking to try and grab an equaliser. Obviously, they need to score quite a few goals today. We are 3-1 up on aggregate as it stands right now with 2 away goals. So they've got to go and score 3 goals right now to get through into the next round. So it's not very easy for them. They've got to really get some goals scored in this half, and the screen's gone off again, and I'm looking at my recording screen, it's back on this screen now. Lucas Moura scores. You love to see it. That was rather annoying that it keeps going off. It must be a game thing because it's not happening anywhere else. Like, this screen isn't, I mean, it's a different cable, isn't it? Maybe it's not, I don't know, maybe it is I don't know. Although my PC did blue screen earlier on today, so maybe it's breaking. That would be less than ideal. I think it's the game that keeps going off, because the green light on my monitor is still there, and it's not like it's coming up saying like, oh, change source or something like that, like it would normally do. So it has to be the game, I think. At least I'm praying it's the game. I'm praying it's the game and not my computer. If we can grab a third goal in this game, though, in the second half, that would just kill the game off completely. And as I say that, Lucas Moura grabs his 15th of the season. He has been absolutely phenomenal this season. Lucas Moura, my player of the season so far, but Julian Draxler has been really good since coming in as well. I think if he keeps this kind of form up that he's started to develop, you know, he got the assist to the assist there, he scored a few goals, he's got a few assists himself, he could be an integral part of the way we play games. But 3-0 up with far less shots. We had 22 shots in the away leg. This time, only 6, and yet we scored 3 of them. I mean, it's a little frustrating, but at least we've won both the games, I should say. You know, it's not like we've lost them with 22 shots and things like that. So we are winning the games, but I feel like I just expect us to score 5 goals every game because we've got Harry Kane. I feel like I'm probably being very harsh on Harry Kane, just because he is one of the best strikers in the world. I'm expecting him to score like at least 30 goals a season probably, and when he doesn't, I'm getting cross. But Julian Draxler with another one today, his 4th of the season, his 2nd of the game. He scored one on the first leg, didn't he, as well, I believe. You love to see it either way. Tactically as well, we'll just take Lo Celso off for Dele Alli. We'll take Ben Davies off for Longley, who can then play at left back, and then Ben Davies comes off for Eric Garcia. Swap those two over because Alderweireld can play with a left foot. Easy stuff. But this is more like it. This is a much better performance. This is the kind of performance I'm expecting to see from us week in, week out. And we'll get there. We will get there at some point. When we were there, I suppose, weren't we? We just had a bit of a wobble in January, a little bit of a hangover as we headed into February. But now Harry Kane getting himself on the score sheet. Maybe complete forward is the way to go as he grabs his 12th goal of the season. 5-0 on the night. You love to see it. And there we go, full time. A much better result. A great way to end. The screen's gone off, so I don't know what I'm clicking on. Right, there we go. It's back. This is so annoying. Very happy with the result and the way that you played. Amazing stuff. Let's continue the game, and hopefully the draw will be like now or something like that. I want to see the draw for the next leg. So here we go. 16 teams remain in the hat. Borussia Dortmund, Atletico Madrid, Sivasspor, Victoria Pleasant, to name a few of them. So obviously the best ones and the worst ones in terms of reputation. Hopefully we get a Sivasspor or a Victoria Pleasant. That would be quite handy. Let's not get Atletico Madrid or Borussia Dortmund or Arsenal. They will be pretty difficult to play against. So Real San Sebastian, Real Sociedad will be playing against Arsenal, Porto against Salzburg, Leipzig against Moscow, Napoli against Celtic, Borussia Dortmund, it's going to be us, isn't it? Copenhagen, okay, we've avoided them. Victoria Pleasant, please be us, against Tottenham. Okay, that should be I mean, I don't want to say a routine win because Victoria Pleasant are here on merit. They're in the second knockout round of the Europa League on merit. So they are good, but in a similar vein to Gent, we should be smashing them. So a very favourable draw there. That will come up in tomorrow's episode. It only leads to play actually off camera. So a nice easy one for me to record this evening as well. Hopefully we win against Leeds. We win all these games. We'll have 5 wins in a row and we'll all be forgetting the terrible January that we had. So thank you very much for watching today's episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have done, drop a like on the video for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.